Hey, we're live. What is going on, guys? Welcome. Happy Hour Live. Yeah, we're on. I see that. Uh, you know, I how late will day be? 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Who gave me 1 minute? I don't know. I think was I 1 minute? I don't know. I don't know. Oh my gosh. How are you guys doing? Welcome to Happy Hour Live. I am just finally sitting down. I haven't even poured this. This is, do we? I don't know if we have them in there. I'll give a shameless plug for RV Living Life right there. I've got my RV Living Life cup. We'll just go ahead and we're doing pirate coffee again tonight. How are you guys doing? Let's see here. I just got set up. The sunset's going to be over that way, and if it doesn't look like it's going to be, we've got no clouds. If you know the sunsets around Quartzsite, Arizona, where I'm at, it kind of relies on the clouds, and we've got no clouds tonight to speak of. So I don't know what we're going to get out of that, but I have been dealing with water heater problems, and boy, if you have an Atwood water heater problem, or if you have an Atwood water heater, which a lot of RVs do, there's trouble coming up. We'll talk about that. We talked about it last week. Defund? No, not defund. Look, define. Oh, define. It's got to be defined. Pirate coffee. We've got rum in the coffee tonight. So yeah, there you go. Rum, Gary, rum. How are you guys doing? First in the house, hot from Yuma. It is. We finally are getting 70-degree weather, and been waiting for it for a long time. Look at this, guys. I've got as close to a Hawaiian shirt as I could put on, right there. That's there you go. I'm kind of celebrating. One of the first days that we've had in a while that I haven't needed a jacket all day, but it's close by. That sun goes down, it gets a little chilly. Let's see if I can find the video file, and we'll see if we can't start this off here. I know exactly where I put them. Here we go. Let's kick this puppy off. What is going on, guys? That is the back of the water heater right there, and got a problem with it. Started leaking last week, and boy, when it rains it pours. I also had a master cylinder go out on the truck, so I got that fixed. It was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Finally done with that, but I got to get started on the water heater, and I did manage to find one right here, but let me tell you about that a little bit. So these Atwood water heaters, Dometic bought those a few years ago. They have stopped making them. I didn't realize this until I went looking for a new water heater. Could not find one. I tried to find a new tank, could not find one. The parts supply for these older units, and that includes the 6-gallon water heaters, is drying up. So, excuse the pun, not really dry. This is actually, I've already drained the hot water heater. But yeah, the supply is drying up. Let me clean this up. I managed to find one. I looked on eBay, I'm Googling it, and I did a search, Craigslist search nationwide, came up with a brand new one. Somebody was selling, asked them if they would ship that to me, and they said, yeah, no problem, as long as you pay for the shipping. So here it is. What came with it? It did come with a new door, but I'm not going to be using that. I'll tell you why in a second here. But it also came with a switch assembly. I'm not going to be using that either. I already have switches inside the coach, so don't really need that. But Dometic now is making their own water heater, and it's not the same size as the original hole. That means that all of those older RVs out there that need to replace their water heaters, they're not going to find one that fits. You have to now buy a trim ring, and which also means, and like in my case, I'd have to repaint the door. I don't want to go through all that. That's why we're not going to use that new door. But we are going to pull this thing out and get this thing replaced. When I do that, I'll show you the repair that I tried. I read online, several people said JB Weld will fix that. Well, I'm here to tell you, JB Weld is not going to fix it. It'll fix it while it's cold. As soon as you turn the heat on, no dice, no dice. Well, let's get started. There's the back side of the water heater right there. And here's our water switch. We're just going to go ahead and turn the water off. Relieve some of the pressure there. There we go. And we're going to go after it. So there you go. I did film it, guys. I got this, and I got a little more footage a little later on of that repair that I did on that. And I don't know if I'm going to include that in the video or not. We will see. But that's really just a. It's nowhere near completion to be done, but there you go. You have a little bit of footage. But let's say hi to everybody. Of course, Cowboy Biker Adventures first in the house. Glad to have you here. Don X fired up. Miss Pearl, glad to have you. She's down in Yuma, and those guys are saying it's hot down there. So good. That's good. That's good. RV Living Life, glad to have you here. WC RVAdventures. I think they're down in. Are you guys still down in Southern California? I don't know. That's but they're Jim and Sue Finstead. Glad to have you here. The Sunshine. Oh, they're off over on the East Coast. Sunshine Holiday Daytona. I've been there. Let's see. X fired up. We had Jim and Sue. Next exit, Mr. Bob. Right there, HC Carefree Highway. Hi, glad to have you guys here. Are you guys still up in that snow? Guys, I don't know if you know, but Oregon is just getting buried in snow up that way. And I hope you're not still up there. Boy, everybody. Next thing is, it's not even 6 where Dave is. It is. Where's my phone? It is, Bob. I'm telling you. What is it? Well, I go by my phone. I can't trust anything anymore, and my phone is saying 6:10. So yeah, it's our. Did we go through a time change? I don't know. I don't have clocks to change in the coach. I just go by my phone, what it tells me, and my phone and my laptop are telling me the same time. So I will go with that. But glad to have you guys here. I'm going to just see if I can get down to where you guys are at. Whoa, Nellie is in the house. Hello, Lucy. Glad to have you here. Miss Kimberly KJ is in the house. Bead Trapper is in the house. Bead Trapper, you're up there in Oregon as well, I think. So I've been hearing the weather reports come through there. So Jim Bertrand. Absolutely. Glad to see you here. Ulrich Hayes, glad to have you here. Hopefully I pronounced that right. If I got it wrong, I'm sorry about that. All right. I think we're down at the bottom. Yes. Oregon has gotten a lot of snow. I hope they're not screaming drought for a little while, because everybody is getting, we were just talking about Flagstaff on north, and it seems like everybody is getting, everybody's getting snow up that way. Is even changing my travel plans, because normally I'm leaving out of here around this time of year, heading north. And I do plan on going into Utah this year. And first time ever, I've been wanting to get to Utah for some time now. So headed off for Utah, and Utah is under 6 feet of snow. So no. Dale and Sherry are in the house. That's my brother right there. Say hello to him. RV Living Life says, my microwave was off today. Yeah. That's how I knew the time changed. Yeah, everything else is automatic. They don't make the microwave. I don't set mine because I'm constantly turning the power on and off. But if you're fortunate enough to get into RV parks and things like that, where you can leave it set and on, and all your power's on, you can get away with it for a little while. You can get away with it. Oh. Well, I am enjoying the weather, guys. I am telling you, it feels so good to be back up in the 70s, because it has not. It has been a cold winter. I think everybody can agree. It doesn't matter where you're at. Yeah, RVAdventures right there. Wayne and Carrie, they're in two different places. So I'm getting snow pictures from Wayne, and sunset pictures from Miss Carrie. I actually appreciate Miss Carrie's pictures more. Just sorry, Wayne, but but I'm glad to see him. Glad to see him. You guys, sounds like you've been up there skiing and having fun. So headed to Utah first. Yeah. So I plan on going up to Utah. I'd like to spend at least a month in Utah, and it's buried in snow. I was originally thinking that I wasn't going to head up that way until April, and now honestly I'm thinking about May, and possibly starting to head up that way. But I don't know how long it's going to take for all that snow to melt out of there. But I'm sure it would be just beautiful regardless. But boondocking as much as I do, I'd hate to get into an area where there's too much snow to even get off the roads, and that's a problem when I get up there. So I delete the snow picture. Yeah, I don't delete them. But I can appreciate a sunrise or a sunset before the snow. That's just, he was showing me pictures of houses. All I saw? He said there were houses in these pictures. You couldn't see them because they were literally covered over in snow. I don't know what they have to do to trench and tunnel their way in there. I just saw a video this week. I think it was a short. Somebody in Lake Tahoe has built a snow tunnel into a big living room area, and all the neighbors were over, and they actually had pizza delivery. The pizza guy got there and had to go through the tunnel, and it was a big living room area. They had couches in there, TVs going, and it was pretty amazing. So looks like some people are having some fun with that. It sounds way too cold. So, I wouldn't even have guessed that. Miss Kimberly KJ from my neck of the woods, up there in Central Oregon, Prineville Reservoir looks like a creek right now. It's sad. It's got to fill up. That's all I can say. I can't imagine with all this snow that they aren't going to be filling all of those. So, but it is a reservoir. They do control that. I guess we'll see. So, we're looking forward to spring and summer. Yeah. Well, I am too. Over at Cowboy Biker Adventures, I was in Lola, Utah, Dave. I was in 23-degree weather overnight, May 27th, 2 years ago. Yeah. So Dawn, you and I need to talk, because I know some places you were telling me I did not want to miss. And that may be some place that I want to miss. So maybe we need to get on the phone and kind of figure out where those places were, so I don't end up there accidentally. When there are igloos, when there are sofas in the igloo in front yard, it sounds like a combination of weed and snow. I don't know. It was actually a fun little video, because the pizza delivery kid that was bringing it was kind of chuckling as he's walking through there. He couldn't believe where he was going. And I have to say, I want to say, if you're going to do some fun stuff in the snow and it's not going to be skiing related, this looked like a pretty cool project that they had been working on. And I don't even know how long that took, but there was, I believe in the video, yeah, there was probably some alcohol involved. But I think there was about six or seven people that were in this living room, all kicking back, waiting for the pizza. So it was kind of cool. Somebody on the wall put their tablet, I think, that had a fire burning on the tablet, and that was propped up on a little shelf carved into the wall. And I thought that was classic, but that was probably as much heat as they were going to be able to have inside of a snow cave. So I don't know. Miss Jennifer LaFord, glad to have you here. No, you can be late. That's all right. That's all right. So, I did get the water heater replaced, and I didn't mention it on the video there. I found that water heater in it. I thought it was Wisconsin. I knew it was East Coast. Actually, looking at the UPS label, it was actually farther than that. It was mailed from New York, and that wasn't from a shop. That was from a private individual that was just selling their water heater, and for whatever reason, he wasn't using it and decided to sell it. And I don't know, but I'll tell you what, it was the only one that I could find in this whole country with my Google searches. So heads up out there, if you have an Atwood water heater, especially if it's getting as old as mine was, be ready for that, because those things are not available anymore. You will have to, I guess the new ones will fit in the old hole, but you have to buy a new trim kit to fill the hole out, so to speak. Which means if your rig is painted like mine, you're going to have to paint that door and get that all painted. So thankfully I didn't have to do that. It turned out great, and it took me, it was about 5 days before I actually got a shower, and I was quite happy for that shower that night. I promise you that. So I did originally, let's see here, I did repair, it was just a pinhole leak, but I couldn't tell. It was just wet on the deck right below the water heater. I couldn't tell where it was coming from. I literally had to pull that out, and then I still couldn't find the leak. And I ended up having to I went down to the Lowe's Hardware and bought some hose and hooked the water heater up outside on the table, away from the rest of the coach, just so I could pressurize it and run it and heat it up. And as soon as it started getting hot, then the leak showed itself, and discovered that exactly where that was. In fact, I have a video of the repair that I did, and let's see if I can find that and just throw that up here. Right there. Yeah, one last thing I know that I want to, most of the parts on this are pretty old, except for that control board up there. I want that because just replaced that not too long ago. I can put that in a box someplace and have it for spare parts. That'll be a good thing. But I was going to show you what the repair was that I did on this thing. So hold on, let me flip this over and we'll show you what I attempted anyway. This was not an easy leak to find. It was on the back side here and underneath the foam, leaking out the bottom here. Once I figured that out, then it was a matter of getting the wraps off and getting this piece of foam off, and there it was. So you can see the water stain marks on the tank all along here, and it had basically corroded through and created a leak right about here. And I put the JB weld on it hoping that would hold it, and it's a pretty thick coat of JB weld. But as soon as the heat got to it and started putting pressure out from this little hole right here, it started leaking just as bad as it ever was. And did not hold. So there you go. This is going to go to the dump. I think one of my options was to have a weld company, or it would have taken a fabrication shop to cut out this whole bottom section and weld in a new aluminum tray on the bottom here. I could have done that, and had I not been able to find another water heater, that's probably what I would have ended up trying. That would work, but again, more cost, and now you need to find not just a welder but a fabricator. So this thing is off to the dump. We'll see you guys later. Take care, everyone. I gotta get this thing picked up and out of here. There you go. So yeah, that was it. It had corroded through the bottom of that aluminum tank, and it was a very small problematic leak because it just kept making everything wet, and for the life of me, I was looking at the pipes all around it, the connections all to it, and in years past, that's where the leak always was. I was not finding it at all, and I ended up having to take that water heater completely out of the coach, and even then I had to pressurize it, and so I could pressurize the whole system and try to see where this damn leak was coming from. I'm here to tell you guys, was not easy to find. So got it, but you heard it there, and I will say it. I think that in the future, if I were to have that same problem again, my recommendation would be to find a fabrication shop and have the whole bottom redone on that tank, and it'll be a little bit, but probably will cost you less than what a new water heater is going to cost. So there you go. As far as finding new stuff, I looked for tanks. I looked for obviously new units, and I looked at the new ones that Dometic is putting out, and really disappointed that that is not the same hole, not the same size, and you have to use their trim kit and to basically fill that hole around there. And I honestly stopped looking at those about the time that I found that out. Is you know, this isn't going to work. I'm going to need to see if I can find something new, or my next stop was going to be going to a weld shop and having them weld it up. So as it turned out, got one from New York. Took a few days to get here, but I'm happy now. So Desert Gypsy is in the house. Hello, dear. That is Miss Bonnie right there. Everybody say hi to Bonnie. Ron Hayes is in the house. I think Matthew Renaud is in the house. Glad to have you here. So yeah, that was that was the about the most of my week. Got together with friends out here in Quartzsite, relaxing. Otherwise, eating some good food and sitting around the fire and chatting, and really enjoying the people. So probably, you know, I'm gonna travel around a little bit, but I'm not leaving the Southwest for a little bit. So there's Hag of the Hills. Glad to have you here. That's Miss Sarah right there. Glad to have you here. I'm going to be traveling around the Southwest and just keeping it down here until we can get some of that snow melted up there. Bonnie could tell you she has been up there taking care of baby goats, and glad to see you here, hon. How much snow you got up there? I think I got a message from her that she had some inches up there. She had I don't know if it was feet. I think she's got it's been going, it's just been snowing. It just keeps snowing. I think everybody is tired of winter up that way. So, but and I apologize for sending you home to that. You know, yeah, 10 inches to 2 feet. I'll bet that's depending on where the drift is. And no. WCRV Adventures. Dave, you have a well-known welder. I do, and know how to use it. You would have welded up a fix. Well, that is aluminum, and I do great on the steel. Unfortunately, I'm not set up. I can weld and have welded aluminum before, but I'm not set up for that. So unfortunately, I could not do that one. So, but I've been able to do all my other welding, and I need to knock on wood. I haven't done a weld job in probably a year now, so I'm feeling pretty lucky with that. But I wish I could have welded it because I absolutely would have. So it's been pouring all day. Yeah, talking to her, I guess it did rain on top of a couple of feet of snow. So that's no. Oh, RV living like Gary says, Miss Carol got 20 inches in Toronto. Yeah, it's been snowing there constantly. Wow, yeah. Everybody is so over. Everybody is so over this winter. Yeah, I need a MIG welder. Yeah, that's not a MIG welder. That's a different thing. But a MIG welder. Yeah. Oh, I'm over at Chinooka's coming. It's usually the southern warm winds, and that usually brings rain. Hopefully, it doesn't. So, but yeah, no, everybody is over the snow. I don't hear a lot of people screaming in the drought right now. They just want to be warmed up. TIG welder, X welder. Yep, there you go. So I don't have that. Mine is just a regular wire feed welder. I can do steel, and 90% of everything that I see or need to weld has been steel, and just those rare occasions where something aluminum comes up. So Canadian. I'm Canadian. I'm just wondering how the cost of living is in the U.S. You know, Gary could tell you that because he is also Canadian. Jim could tell you that he's Canadian, and I don't know. Is it better or is it worse? What do you guys say out there? Um, that's a good question. Uh, I know the fuel prices are starting to come down a little bit, and that has been a nice thing. But the price of everything else has not, and so we're still living that dream. You know, whichever way, nightmare or dream, whichever way you choose to look at it. But yeah, it's I used to go to the grocery store for about $100, and now it's running about $150. And oh well, I mean that's all we can do is bitch and complain for a little while anyway. Uh, yeah, depends on where you live. Yeah, yeah. And the California is expensive. You go into California, it's more expensive there. The price of eggs is coming down. I noticed that. You know, the funny thing is, here in Quartzsite, I bought a dozen eggs and paid. I think it was $5.50, and went to Walmart in Palm Springs, California, and paid. I think it was about $3 for a dozen eggs. So I am seeing that lessening come down a little bit. So kind of you guys tell me. I'm kind of hearing that they had a feed problem across the country, and the chickens, because of the feed problem, the chickens stopped laying eggs. That was interesting. I don't know. I'm it would explain though why it got so expensive for eggs. So yeah, if you that is good advice right there. RV Living Life said it right there. In general, everything is expensive everywhere. But if you have 1,000 trails, it's cheaper to live in the U.S. And I have used that for many years now. Since 2015, I've been just a regular pass holder. I don't have the one of the big packages or anything. But I'm here to tell you that that's the best deal going. If somebody can tell me there's a better deal out there, I'd be interested in seeing it. Oh, did it? Gas went up 10 cents a gallon here in Yuma. I think they're doing the summer changeover, so that may be why, Don. I know in the fall and in the spring they do a changeover from winter to summer fuel, and in the fall they do summer to winter fuel. And I I don't know exactly, but I'm guessing that's probably about the same. You know, same as every year. Sounds about the same. I don't know. I don't know what the trade is. Walmart kept their egg prices lower this whole time, but smaller market prices were crazy. Yeah, I can believe that. I can believe that. You know, a lot of that stuff for the bigger stores are loss leaders. They'll sell them at a loss so that you'll buy other things in the store. And that holds true for the pretty much all of the big stores. And so I could see that. I could see that. Speaking of Walmart, and thank you for bringing that up. As guys, I'll tell you, I'm not a big fan of these self checkouts. Now, Walmart has started a process where if you forget that thing in your cart, they're not stopping you at the door, or they're not you know coming after you. They're keeping record of it. And then when you get up to a certain dollar amount, they send the popo, they send the 50 over to your house to pick you up and charge you with stealing from Walmart. I don't know how well that's going to work, but yeah, I've heard that they've started doing that. So Walmart has is doing a lot of things that I kind of wish I could get away with it. I don't know if you guys like the self checkout or not. I'm not a big fan of the self checkout, and honestly, I have kind of a rule that I go through one of the regular checkout lanes with a person there, and I think that Walmart's getting a pretty good deal on those machines, and they're getting a lot of free labor to make all that happen, and they get to write off the machines. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of those self checkouts, but yeah, I've never used self checkout. Good for you. I have. I can't say I've never used. It's times when you have just if you have just a single item or maybe two items and the lines are long, but normally I stay away from them. And that'll include the hardware stores. Lowe's and Home Depot are both doing them. I stay away from them. I stay away from them. So, oh, nice. Well, there we go. I like the self checkouts and love the idea of throwing the crooks in the pokey. There you go. I'm always for that, but yeah, I'm not. I don't like giving them the free labor. That's 6 eggs from the chickens right there. That's the way you do it. Oh, let's see here. Oh, Gary's got it. I'll throw this up here real quick. I'm not sure. 6 months, $1,600 a month, and 1,000 US dollars a year to camp here. 200 parks in the USA for 6 months. Is it that much? Gosh, I don't even know. Except for diesel is cheaper in the US. I have heard that. I have heard that. So, and just a couple trips over to Algodones and doing some real quick math at the gas stations over there. It's looking like the gas prices are pretty much the same down there as they are here in the U.S. Not California. California's going to be, if you're going to California, it's about a dollar more a gallon for fuel. So, but everything's more there. So, oh, no. I can't stand all those stuff. So Miss Pearl, Bob likes them. Miss Pearl says she doesn't like those things. Can't stand the self checkouts. I enjoy talking to a person at the checkout counters and the customers in the front or behind me. You and I would agree on that 100%. I actually like having the conversation and talking, especially if they're friendly. Sometimes you get them, they're having a bad day, but it is, and you're not having to do it yourself. So, I can't help but think that, we need people out there working those jobs and doing that. So WCRV Adventures, Dave, they're keeping track of how many times you ring up one item 3 times and forget to bring it to your attention. Yeah, it's but there are some crafty people out there too. I've been seeing the video security footage, and I'll tell you the latest scam is they're putting a barcode on their hand, right on the back of their hand. So they grab the item, and then they wave their hand in front of the barcode reader, and it scans their hand instead of the item in their hand, and whatever that item was, and apparently it just looks like they bought 100 limes or something. I don't I don't know. Oh, no kidding. Yeah, I haven't ran into that yet, but you were in a Walmart and you could only self checkout. It's even getting so bad. McDonald's is getting into that. Now, have you guys heard this? McDonald's is trying out peopleless or personless service at the McDonald's. I guess there is a McDonald's somewhere in the country. Everything is ordered at kiosks, and your food comes via a I don't know, a conveyor belt, an elevator or something. I don't know, but yeah, everybody's kind of getting in on that. So I don't know. I guess I'm weird, but I prefer to do the self-checkout. I'm more polite than most cashiers, and I'm faster. Well, that I can believe, and I like the way I bag my groceries better. There is that, I suppose there is that, especially, I've never had problems with how they bagged my groceries, but at the same time, you know, yeah, and so I suppose there are times when it's better, and it does seem to go faster. I don't know, but you ever notice that the Walmart they have 20 checkout lanes. They only have two tellers working two of the lanes. Everybody else is being funneled into the self checkout, and that's a lot of jobs. A lot of jobs. So used to be a grocery checker. I enjoyed it for a while too. Yeah, there's something social about it. There really is. Yeah, they will. They'll just keep eliminating jobs, and I do the same thing. I prefer to keep people working as well. So, the deal on that is that Walmart doesn't have to put out a paycheck, a salary to that person, doesn't have to pay taxes on that, doesn't have to pay wages, doesn't have, and in turn that checker doesn't have to pay taxes. So and what's more is no matter what Walmart has paid for that machine, they get to write it off. So this is a win-win-win for Walmart. And I don't think they're worried about a couple of groceries, and they're just waiting until they add up, and then they'll come for you. Then they'll come for you. Oh, Matthew Renaud says I prepaid $200 for diesel and left not full. Yeah. Yeah, I feel your pain there. $200 will not cut it anymore. I'm typically around between 300 and 400 to fill up my rig. And $200 used to be what I normally would throw in, and that generally got me pretty well full, or if not full, absolutely. Not anymore. Not anymore. Uh, let's see here. Well, there we go. Let's see. This is the sunset we got going on here tonight, guys. Let's see if I can get this turned. Not much of one, but it does feel good. I am sitting here without a jacket, and normally this time of year, let's see, can I get that? Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. It looks a lot better than what I'm seeing on camera there. So, in fact, I can kind of turn this a little bit if I don't knock anything over. Oh, then you can't see me. No, if we do that, no, we'll switch you over. There you go. There's the sunrise cam for you, just for a little bit. We'll turn it back. Get us. There we go. There you go. Yeah, it's going to be and it's going to look like they bought 100 gift cards going through there. Obviously, it's going to a scam like that is going to come up pretty quick to security. So I don't know, but I don't know, people are getting desperate to rip Walmart off. Yeah, there we go. iPhones and self-checkout. You would never get me. No, You will never. I am an Android person. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. We had no kidding. There you go. We had a robot bring us food at a casino. Crazy. And I've seen them. Changing times, strange as it is. So, no, it's dots, Don. Dots. It is always dots. Uh, looked like Bob and Pearl had some Mexican train going on. So good on you guys. That's good visiting with Tom and Lori down there in good old Yuma. I'll be back down there sometime the last week of this month, as a matter of fact. So probably, I don't know how it's going to work out, but it'll probably be somewhere around the 22nd, 23rd, something like that. Well, I am all for capitalism, Bob. I would agree with you for a certain part, but I'd like to see people working. And when I see people working, and I know that we are a happier country as far as I'm concerned. So, um, eliminating more and more jobs and robots doing people jobs, you know, I suppose it worked for the car companies, but I guess I'm old school there. This is true. Walmart, and I've had problems with those Walmart machines that they've got there to scan your credit cards. They are practically antique. They are obsolete. It's interesting that they haven't replaced those. So yeah, 200 would be a dream, Philip. I have to agree. I've had it a couple times in the last 5 years, and that's typically in the South. And I think at one time I can remember hitting diesel for 201 or 198 a gallon, something like that. I'm here to tell you, I filled it up. I filled it up as much as I could put in there. So, oh my gosh. Yeah, Dave, that was 200 for a pickup truck. Yeah. Yeah, especially if you got big tanks. Yep. That's scary. That's scary. Yeah. Yeah. And at least the credit cards have kind of raised the limits on because I remember when it used to stop at $80 and that used to drive me mad. So, and then the third time that you go and try to use it at the same pump, it won't take your card, so they make you go in anyway. I should have just gone in the first place. Uh, I love, okay, Gary. You, they don't sell. I am noticing more and more. Have you guys noticed that Walmart is getting out of the gun sales business? Walmart used to be, and a lot of people didn't know this, they were the number one gun seller in the country. If you'd been into any of them, they typically had a part of the sporting goods section that was devoted to a whole gun section. So not anymore, not anymore. But okay, that's TMI, Gary. It's we no, that's Gary. Uh, oh, there you go, right there. Restrictions on poultry operations, putting them out of business. Avian flu causing destruction of flocks, feed prices. Is it? I assume we're talking about chickens, Bonnie. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So yeah, 200 was the limit. Yeah, yeah. I've hit 175. I haven't had a 200, but at least they're raising the limit. That'll get you a little ways down the road, but especially if you're paying $5 a gallon for fuel, you're not talking about 40 gallons worth of fuel there. So I feel your pain. I was talking about the coach though, and that is 100-gallon tank there, and I'm typically filling it up. Usually taking on about 60 gallons, and that's somewhere between 300 and 400. There was one time that I was in Oregon at the height of when it was most expensive. I filled it up. It was a $500 bill to fill up the coach. So, yeah, you're from Canada. They won't sell you a gun, Gary. No, no. My eyes. That is a TMI, Gary. Doug D says he's got the TSA card. I a number of people pushing me. My brother pushed me to get that card. The open, I think it's an open roads card. It's the and I don't think it's the TSA card, is it? You guys remind me which one that is, but I did get it. I might even have that on me. That is a great deal. Sometimes I just used it the other day. Let's see if I do have it here on me. So let me cover up my number there a little bit. It's the EFS card, TSD Logix Open Roads. And I did get that. I got that set up, and I have used it a few times. And I think the first time that I used it, I saved about $1 a gallon on fuel. So, but it's has caused me now to go into truck stops. And I'm not a big fan of the truck stops, but it is easier getting in and out of them with a big coach. So, hopefully, we'll see what that does, and we'll keep you informed. But that's pretty new. That's pretty new. I haven't. Yeah, there's a vision. Gary with a shotgun in one hand, a bottle of rum in the other, while walking down the street in his new pink panties. No, what is going? We have gone in such a wrong direction. We have gone, Gary. What don't I have somebody here with? Don't I have somebody here with wrenches? Oh my gosh. What are we going to do with Gary? Gary, don't drink anymore. I was close. It's the only card I use in the USA. You were. It was it, and there you go. I'm learning. I'm learning. It's a process. It's a process. Oprah Rose. Oops. Yeah, it's TSD card. You got it right though, Doug. You were right in there. You were right in there. No, no. You guys are still talking about Gary. Gary got one. Can I give Gary a little shout out? I've got his cup tonight right there. I don't know if you missed it or not, Gary. Look at that. Look at that. Gary, I want you to notice how good that cup. I am taking such good care of that cup. Isn't that something? I look at Gary's cup and it looks like death warmed over. And this one is all of the graphics and everything are nice and bright on it. See, Gary, this is what happens when you don't use dishwashers. See? There you go. Got $1 off in Las Vegas. Yeah, so far I've used it twice. I think once I got 60 cents off, and the first time that I used it was about $1 off. So I know Bob was telling me about that at Next Exit, and then my brother was telling me about it and saying, yeah, I needed to get that. So when you have your own brother telling you need to do something, it's like, all right, I'll do it. And so I made that happen, got that done. What do we got? Truck stops are my happy place. Why? No. Diesel engines are right. There's something wrong with you, Gary. There's something wrong. Matthew Renaud, he's got rum, a shotgun, in gray underwear. This has gone in such a bad direction. I don't even know where to go. All right, guys. It is. We're not that far away from being able to 388. Is that for gas? No, that's got to be at the TA in Vegas. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty good. So, is that off per gallon? No, I think that Don. That's he's saying 388 per gallon at the TA in Vegas. So it is. He says it is. How much? No, I don't. I'm getting lost in the conversation. You guys are losing me here. All right. Are you guys done? I think we're ready to call this one a night and get out of here. I'm hanging out with friends for the week. I think I am going to be in Palm Springs next week and enjoying that a little bit for a few days. And then I'm going to be heading back down to Yuma. So looking forward to getting back down there. Hopefully I see Dawn. Dawn is taking off in another direction at the end of this month. So hopefully I can get down there before he takes off. Yeah, 376. A lot cheaper over there in the south. Enjoy those fuel prices. I think we're still above 5 here. So oh, Miss Pearl's got it right there. I like that. There's Tom and Lori. Miss you guys. I miss you guys. I will be down there. I will be down there soon. So, but I like Miss Pearl's. I'm going to give Miss Pearl the last one right there. Hasta la bye-bye. Safe travels all. We'll see you guys next week. Live life full time. Take care, everybody. Good hanging out with everybody tonight. Take care, everybody. Let's see if we can hit the right button this time.